friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about the basics you need to know before purchasing a property. Just a quick introduction, my name is Ashley and I'm a lawyer practicing in Malaysia. First, let's discuss the types of purchases. Essentially in Malaysia, we have two types of purchases. They are, first, purchase from the property developer, or second, purchase directly from the owner of the property, which we normally call the sub-sale. If you are purchasing a housing property from a developer, the terms of your sale will be largely governed by the Housing Development Control and Licensing Act 1966. And the terms of your sale and purchase agreement will need to be in the standard form as prescribed in the Act. As for purchase of sub-sale properties, the parties will be free to dictate their terms and conditions. Next, getting your loan. Once you have secured your property, you will need to pay for the purchase price of your property. You may be a cash buyer where you do not need to take up a loan, or you may get a loan from a bank for your purchase. The interests of the bank are relatively low now. You may check with your preferred banks on their respective interest rate. Next, let's discuss. Now that you have identified your property and wish to proceed to the next step, what are the documents that you need to sign? The most common documents that you will need to sign are sale and purchase agreement for the purchase of the property, the memorandum of transfer for properties with strata title or individual title, consent form if required, the form for entry of private caveat if required, the CGT form which is the real property gain tax form, the deed of assignment if you are purchasing a property with master title, the letter of offer, facility agreement or such other documents which the bank require you to sign. Just a quick note on the difference between strata title, individual title and master title. For individual and strata title, the name of the owner are actually stated in the title itself, whereas for master title, it usually occurs when, for example, a condominium is built on the land. The title of the land will be the master title. Later on, the master title will be subsequently separated into different titles depending on the units of the condominium. Each of the condominium will own a title which we call the strata title. Next, let's discuss what are the common clauses stated in the SPA, which is the sale and purchase agreement. The common clauses which you can find in the SPA are particulars of the buyer and seller, details of the title, purchase price and mode of payment, deposit, which is usually around 10% of the purchase price, the time frame for the payment of the purchase price, which is usually 3 months, with an extension of another 1 month, the remedy of any breach and also the termination event. Next, let's discuss what are the rough process for the entire purchase. The process are, first, you will sign the documents such as the SPA and also the loan documents. Then, if there are any consents to be obtained, you need to obtain the consent. This will usually be done by a lawyer. When do you need to apply consent? Usually, consent will require to be applied if it is a leasehold title, or in some other cases, freehold property has some clause in the title itself which prohibits certain dealings or certain transfer without consent of the authorities. So your lawyer will need to read through the title of the property and decide whether consent is required to be obtained. The next scenario where consent is required will usually be if you are a foreigner. Then you need to obtain a foreigner consent from the authority. Next, your lawyer will stamp your SPA and also your loan documents. Then you proceed to adjudicate the Form 14A, which is the memorandum of transfer. After the adjudication, the relevant authorities will actually value your property and decide on the stamp duty payable according to the market rate. Then you proceed to stamp the document and register the transfer at the relevant land office. And the vacant possession will also take place. Next is the cost. You may be concerned of the cost you need to prepare for the purpose of the purchase. Generally, besides the purchase price that you need to pay, you will also need to pay the legal fees and also the stamp duty, and also the disbursements incurred for the purpose of your purchase. First, let's discuss about the legal fees. You will need to prepare the legal fees for the documentation that your lawyer will be preparing for you. Generally, the solicitor's remuneration order specifies the fees that the lawyer can charge for the purpose of the transaction. This is the legal fee for the preparation of the SMP. Lawyers can generally provide a discount of 25% for the preparation of the SMP. However, if the documents prepared are pursuant to the HTA, which is the housing property that you purchase directly from the developer, this shows a discount that can be given for the preparation of the SPA. This is the legal fee for the preparation of the loan documentations. Generally, lawyers can provide up to 25% of discount for the preparation of loan documentation. Next, let's talk about stamp duty. You need to pay stamp duty for your sale and purchase agreement, your stamping of the memorandum of transfer, and your loan documentation. For the stamping of a sale and purchase agreement or any statutory declaration or any miscellaneous document signed, it will usually be at a nominal amount of 10 ringgit. However, for the memorandum of transfer or deed of assignment in case where it's still under a master title, this is the stamp duty that you will need to prepare. This is the stamp duty that you need to pay for the loan documentation. I've been using an app called the Easy Law app, and I find it really useful for me to calculate the legal fees and also the stamp duty payable. Before the invention of this app, I actually calculate everything manually. Let me give you an illustration for your better understanding. Okay, let's start. So now I'm very happy today because I found a property property that I really like at Mont Kiara. It's a freehold property. It's selling at 800k. Sounds like a good deal, isn't it? So the steps of my purchase will be, firstly, identify if I'm purchasing the property from a developer or directly from a seller. Now I'm purchasing this property from Yvonne. Yvonne is not a developer, so this is actually a sub-sale. The terms of our sale and purchase agreement will actually based on our mutual agreement. Yvonne and I will be signing a booking form, and I will pay as a buyer 2 to 3% of my purchase price as an earned deposit. So next, I check my bank account and I realize that I do not have 800k sitting in my bank account. So I can't be a cash buyer and I need to get a loan to purchase my property. Once the bank has approved my loan and I've confirmed all the details of the loan, the bank will usually get me to sign a document which is the letter of offer. So next, now I've identified the bank for my loan, I will now seek for a lawyer to help out with my legal documentation. I heard from my friend that Rebecca seems like a very good convincing lawyer. Yeah, so I engaged Rebecca to complete my legal documentation for me. Rebecca is very efficient and complete all the documents for me within 1 week. On the date of signing, I will sign on documents such as SMP, MOT, form for entry of private caveat, CKHD form, the loan documentation, and so on. The property is a freehold property and there's no restriction, and I'm not a foreigner, so I do not need to get any consent from the authorities. On the day of signing, I've also paid to my lawyer Rebecca her legal fees and all the disbursements because I'm a good A-master. So now I've signed all the documents and Rebecca will proceed to do the necessaries. I will leave it to Rebecca to work on this for me, while at the same time I can relax and enjoy my coffee at home. Hope the information provided to you are helpful to you. Please feel free to comment down below if you have any questions or any other related topics which you would like me to discuss. I will upload this channel on every Thursday at 8 PM, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. You may also check out my other legal videos here. See you in the next video and bye bye!